Everybody, welcome to League of Legends Anonymous podcast, episode 283, because I got it right this time and I looked first and I fucked up last episode. So if you're wondering why we went from episode 281 to 283, this guy is the answer to your question. So, welcome to episode 283. This week we have a special treat for you. Double Sniffed is back.
That's been about 5 weeks.
Yeah, man, welcome back. It's been a long time since we've seen you here.
Demise are greatly exaggerated.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to fill the void of platinum podcasters in this goddamn place.
Yeah, right on. Well, we're getting there. We'll get to that. Hey, and also, we're bringing back Sam. He's been here the whole time. What's up, Sam?
What's up? Hey, how's it going?
No, it's good. It's good. By the way, we got hit up for Adam Cogswell of Trinity Force wanted to come on and do a three-way episode with me, you, and him.
Yeah, that was always my dream to do a three-way with you two.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. Think of all, if we get $500 in Patreon money, I'd do it.
I'll do anything for content. Yeah. I'll do anything for views.
No, I mean, seriously, though, I can make that happen if he's interested in it.
We should make sure that he's of the right age before we start engaging in this sort of thing.
We don't want to get
into that right now.
I don't know how old Adam is.
Yeah, we don't want to get into a Hishinshin moment.
Oh, dear.
But, anywho, that being said, guys, welcome back, everybody. It's been a long time, Sam. What's going on, man?
Dude, my webcam on the live stream is like the size of the whole screen.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
You are awkwardly zoomed, by the way.
I'm really, yeah. I mean, that's not me. That's you're doing.
Ah, okay. Well, hey, that's great. I still see that
you're looking swole as fuck, man.
Yeah, you are looking swole as fuck. Well, no, I'm also wanted to comment that you're still a fan of the V-neck shirts.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so quarantine, lockdown, everyone's going a little crazy. I'm looking at my closet, and obviously, I'm just like, you learn what actually you like to wear and what's like 90% of your closet you don't want to wear, right? So then I decided to like just cleanse my closet a little bit or purge my closet, and I just bought like a few t-shirts on Amazon, different brands, until I found my favorite one, and then I just bought like 3 of them.
Out of curiosity, what's your favorite one?
This is Next Level. That's what it's called.
Is the name of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's literally Next Level. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's super soft. I like the V-neck. Every time I wear a crew neck, I feel like I'm being slowly choked by a small child or something. So, yeah, it's a V-neck for me.
I bet it goes well with the mask too. You get you can still flash a little bit of skin. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, so funny story. The first time we had a podcast thing where we made shirts, and we all the fans, you buy shirts at cost if you want to. It doesn't really support us, but it was like, buy a shirt. It's cool. You rep LOLA, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a shirt, and I buy this shirt, and it comes in, and it's a fucking V-neck, and I do not have the body for a V-neck because it turns like a normal t-shirt into like this.
Oh,
right.
I'm so close.
That's not a good look. It's like I look like what the fuck, Burt Reynolds. Whenever you pull it down to here, there's just like a tuft of fur that comes out of the top of a V-neck, which is not the look that a V-neck was designed for. V-neck was designed for people exactly like Sam. Coincidentally,
that are smooth as a dolphin.
Who's like smooth as a dolphin's back and swole as fuck. Like that's a good look. That's a good look for you.
I think if we shaved our chests, we'd still not be able to rock that. I think it's more about the shape than the smooth factor. Personally.
Yeah, you gotta look like a human mannequin to pull that shit off. But if you do, it looks great. And not this guy. I'll take my strangled by an infant shirt any day.
You should just wear nothing but turtlenecks, Blake. Summer 365. You'd rock a great turtleneck.
Yeah, like just
put the logo of your law office right over the voice box.
Yeah.
Just boom. Just Blake Law. Whatever. That's your new name for your business.
Blake Fields, turtleneck of justice. Oh. His neck is warm and he's ready to fight for
Falcons.
Falcon Law. Oh, Sam, while you were gone, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the podcast. I assume not because you're a busy dude. But
I assume not because he was willing to come back on it.
Right. Terrible career decision. So anyway, in the last couple of episodes, we were relating Sun Tzu's The Art of War
Oh, okay.
to getting better at League, and somehow we got on the topic of having sex with a Falcon. So that's
I
become a
think that's
running
like
joke.
halfway through, right? After like, you know.
Yeah, no, that's about
Spoiler
right.
alert, folks! If you haven't read The Art of War,
If you haven't read The Art of the War, it really gets weird about
I'm
halfway
not
took a
through.
surprised at
turn.
all. Zero surprise.
Nobody expected it. He's got some tastes.
It was
Anyway,
a Silverhawks erotic fanfic.
yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, we now that's become a community thing. LOLA Anonymous is just Falcon around and not Falcon around. Those are our segments.
that's good.
So,
That's good.
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So anyway, this week, we were wanting to. Well, first things first, Sam. I guess we'll get started. Anything cool happening with you lately? I know you've been like buried up to your balls in work, and Sam sent out a sad tweet the other day.
that wasn't that. Well, I don't even remember what it was, to be honest.
Sam, your tweet was super fucking sad. It was like, I have no friends.
Yeah.
I need to have friends again. I'm like, Sam.
No. I specifically said I need more esports friends, or friends in esports, because I thought you're not in esports.
I mean, kinda. Not really, no. But
But
I mean,
no.
Hey,
Yeah.
Shinshin's probably looking for friends.
that dude needs a lot
He'll
of friends
accept
right
your
now.
friend's request, bud.
All right, we're just gonna keep talking about him. No, it's just like, yeah, cultures in the West Coast or LA, I guess, is really different. Everyone's hustling, So like, I've even like started back up my YouTube channel and like figuring that out, working like a lot more jobs, like doing a lot more work at work, and then we're quarantined too. So I'm like, oh, I don't have like as much human connection. I realize like I'm still new to LA. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I don't have like people to hang out with anymore. And then like Lola is on a different time. We're 2 time zones away now.
Yeah, we're 2 time zones off. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucked
So
up.
yeah.
So I mean,
Hey,
question though, like the quarantine thing in California, I imagine is pretty intense. Like not a lot of people leaving the house, particularly in like high density population areas, right?
No, the scary part is people are, and that's why I like really
okay.
can't go out, because then you have like people just like, the mask is restriction of my God-given right
Oh,
and
so you
freedom.
guys have those guys too.
We have so many of them. Of course, Missouri has them. Don't I know?
Oh yeah, yeah, we get them.
I've been seeing all these random tweets that are trending from like the governor or whoever else. I'm like, oh, hopefully Blake's okay.
No, I'm
there's
fine.
No state in the union that has a monopoly on stupid.
Oh yeah.
Like, as long as you're doing better than Florida.
Yeah, I mean that's a very low bar, but it's like, yeah, the things that we have in Missouri right now is like meth, Fox News, and Natty Light, and no masks. That's kind of summarizes my neck of the woods right now.
But at least you guys have some distance, right?
Yeah,
outbreak in California is just like boom. So we're like really paranoid in the office about that kind of stuff. That's why I haven't been. I've been in the office twice now.
That's the other thing is like you also have like virus deniers, that are like, I'm not going to respect your space. I insist you shake my hand, kind of shit. Oh
God!
And it's like, like I just keep hand sanitizer on me now, so I'll shake your hand just to let you know, like I think you're a person and I am respecting your deal. And now I'm gonna sanitize my hands like the second you turn around, and I'm not touching anything. And so I try to be careful of that, but like then also you have the people that just will walk into, like I don't really have a bubble, right? Like I don't care. You can be real close to me and it doesn't really bother me. But like COVID is kind of like we all are supposed to have this big ass bubble. And they're like, man, I just can't carry a conversation with you unless I can smell your breath. It's like, just back up a little bit. My voice carries, man. We can talk. You can be over there. I'll be over here. It's fine. But yeah, I get a lot of that and a lot of like, you shake my hands because we're men and we need to look at each other's eyes and shake hands.
Spit on it.
Let me spit on my hand. We're gonna seal a medieval land transaction.
Like I do the predator one.
Yeah. Check each other's gauntlets for daggers or whatever. The other hand. But like I don't know. I get a lot of that. But like then again, like a lot of the problem with where I live is it's so fucking rural that like we didn't get it. when everybody else was getting it and everybody else was going into the lockdown, we had one case. And so it's like, okay, we have one case. Like, but we're treating the world like it's going over, right? It's like it's going to end and everybody needs to stay apart. And we shut down court and we did all these other things that weren't relevant for us at the time. Right? I'm not saying those are bad ideas, but they're bad ideas like we're flattening the curve. We don't have a curve. We have one bump. You know
Don't
what I
you
mean?
guys have like the reopening like procedures? Because like as long as you're like fitting these.
Oh,
certain...
not at the time.
In the South?
They just shut that shit down. Like we have like 2 needles, and that needle is on or off, and it's like, oh shit, COVID, shut it down, and then so we did that for a while, and everybody shut it down. Everything went virtual. We did all that, and then it was like, we're sick of this shit. Turn it back on, and then now it's. The problem is you burn the public trust when we didn't have a reason to. And I'm not saying other people didn't, because like I recognize what an appropriate viral response is.
Yeah.
But for us, we had like case. And I mean, yeah, it's cool. Like one case can turn into a lot. And, you have people who are, maybe contagious that are carrying that aren't whatever. But it's like we were right to like lock down our nursing homes and shit. Like, because if it gets in there, that's going to be a real bad problem. But at the same time, like, the public just doesn't care anymore. And so, like, we're trying to tell people, like, do basic level shit to not get everybody around you sick. And everybody's like, fuck it, don't care anymore. Did that in March. We're good. We flattened the curve. Victory.
If black people can vote, I don't have to wear a mask.
Oh, no.
So people in my fucking state.
That's just South, Anyway, but yeah, no.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I was just like, oh, I need more friends out here, and I need more friends in esports because like it's a relatable thing, and we have similar work hours and all those kind of things. That's all I'm saying. But
fine. I mean, like your friends in esports, do you like you pal around with like other content creators from other brands, or is it like you're mostly like hang out with players, or like what's your deal?
I mean, like I've done a little bit of both, but mostly like I've just met a lot of people. I was saying like I haven't networked enough. Like I thought like I've gone to the LCS and done things, but I haven't like met a lot of other like people working for other teams, and like I want to do that. And that's I'm like, oh, maybe I should start a podcast and be like, hey, let's talk about whatever, and let's talk about community management and what that looks like in Evil Geniuses, or like let's talk with Team Liquid like content people, video people, and let's talk about that because I think that's cool. And like it's cool to be working alongside like other people that are passionate about the same things you are, right? Like that's why LOLA community exists,
Yeah, right.
So that's what I mean. Yeah.
So here's a thought. All right. Evil Geniuses have already cornered the network with the whole live evil banger tweet thing, right?
Yeah.
You guys need a hashtag, right? Like that tweet was golden.
Oh. That one hurts, but you're right. We do definitely need like need that tribe mentality with something.
Yeah,
or inclusion, like the TSM chant or something.
Yeah, like
yours if Haunter shut somebody down in lane, you could be like golden showered, something like that.
I mean, perfect. Run with it. Banger tweet.
Trademark it.
Last year, teams had to own up their academy streams. We had to do them. So I actually like was casting kind of with one of those, right? And on our academy jungler is Tony, whose name is Hard in game. So we would just like spam hashtag stay hard. Or like after he said that in an interview, like anything you want to say to your fans, you're like, just stay hard. And we're like, all right. So we just kept like spamming that in chat and
easier said than done at our age.
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do need something like that. We're a really small team, so it's. Oh, I guess if people don't know, like I do, my official title is esports marketing analyst, whatever that means. But I kind of like help around a little bit everywhere. I make like the meme videos that we do. I help figure out our social video content, manage a whole bunch of freelancers, and then like even helping with like the YouTube content that we're like working on putting on our stuff. And I've run events. I did like immediate. So I'm like doing a little bit of everything. So what was the point of that? Oh yeah. So I work for Golden Guardians. We are a really small team. So, and I think we're one of the teams that's not like I think Evil Geniuses have just hired a ton of people really, really fast. Like, I don't know how fast they grew, but they're like, oh, we're just going to hire 60 people in the next like 2 months or something like that. I don't really know the details, but like we're a team of, when I started, we're like 5 or something. And then we
Damn.
doubled in a year. And then now we have around, I think we're around 10 or 11 or something full time on our corporate side, doing all like content and managing non-competitive stuff. So we're just a small team that everyone's like working really hard, really talented, and we can't do everything. Like we don't even have a community manager, so we don't have those kind of like TSM chants or the Live Evil stuff or whatever else.
Like hashtag golden shower.
Yeah, I'll try to sneak that in. Actually, I released the series. It's called Quick Tip, and it's just like literally like the smallest bite-sized tip that like hopefully you might not know and you'll like remember, instead of like, hey, this is how you play Echo. It's just like, did you know you could do this animation cancel on Echo? So we call it Quick Tip. But I got it through everyone with the title Just the Tip. And then at the end, it was like, Sam. I'm like, yes. And then I changed the title.
Boo.
It almost made it through.
So Sam, where did you get that great idea from, huh?
60-second tip, right? Which was stolen by every other content creator.
Yeah, which was stolen by every other content creator. Like the trinket tip from whatever, and then they stole it, and then
4 words,
whatever.
I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Going back to that, I would actually really love to see some content about what happens behind the scenes, because like that's one aspect that I would be hungry to learn more about, is like what does a day look like for one of these pros? Like what does the support staff look like? I mean, the Netflix thing came out, but I thought they focused way too much on Doublelift. I mean, it was fine, and that would have been a fine, like, I understand marketing wise why they did that, but it was like, this is what goes into LCS. And it was like half of which is what I really wanted to see. And the other half was sort of this narrative about Doublelift and try to make him the face of the league. I really wish there was more sort of behind, like, I don't understand how a lot of these teams make money. And I would be curious, you know what I mean? Maybe that's intentional. And it's like, Sam, break it down. How are they making the cash? But like, I'm curious how these organizations actually like operate and stuff like that.
At a loss.
Yeah, it's okay. Do we want to go on this tangent? Because I could talk about this forever, and we haven't even touched on content.
We got time to fill. I'm going to talk about coaching at the end and how I got it and how it went and whatnot. So you fill your time. Go ahead.
So like every team has made a docuseries, right? And everyone thinks that you're supposed to make a docuseries, and then it takes like, hey, we need to hire like 2 videographers, like 4 editors, and do this production that everyone's working 60 hours a week to like hurry up and finish it to get a weekly doc out, and then once the team starts losing, no one cares. And then everyone started doing docuseries, and everyone's views went down because everyone does it the same. There's not really like, it's repeated drama over and over again. Only if there's drama, they're interesting because everyone wants to see the breaking point like video that happens. And then you have like teams like, I think when FlyQuest first came, when they're like High and Balls and whoever else, like it was like C9 Light or Retirement Home C9 or whatever. They were putting out like 3-minute docuseries every week, and no one was watching them, right? And one, I think like a lot of teams are getting lazy with the docuseries. But 2, people say they want it, and then it goes out, and then no one watches it. So it's like this weird thing.
I've got an idea for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is brilliant, banger content. So you're gonna do a docuseries, but it's just gonna be a parody of everybody else's docuseries starring your players.
I did pitch this idea, which our general manager Danon loved, but it never went through because it's just like, we can't do. There's no way we can pull it off. Doing like The Office, except like just parody everything. Like every Reddit drama, we're like, oh yeah, it's totally true. Like this all happened, and like even though it's all fake and parody, just feeling like The Office. And then, but it's too much work, and players don't want to do content.
I would think that the personality type, everybody that I've met that's like a really super good gamer, they're all introverted, they're all on Adderall, they don't want to talk to anybody. Like that's the personality.
They
like
just want to play. Yeah.
They'll just stay up for 28 hours if you don't force them to sleep. Like,
well, like,
you know what I mean?
Okay,
those folks don't want to do sitcoms.
So like the TSM ones where they were like having them do like acting, like it was.
Hi, Peter. What are you doing in that dumpster?
I am in the trash can.
They just double down on the cringe aspect of it.
Yeah, and well, I really feel like they weren't trying to do that, and then the
don't
players
either.
themselves were like, "This is so cringy," and they're like, "Okay, it's really cringy, but we can make this seem intentional." You know, I don't know, but I mean,
It's good
if,
directing either way.
yeah, I mean, you could do like parody videos of their videos, and it would be amazing if you just use their drama, right? Like
Mhm.
Double Lift was saying, like, you know, well, that one's probably too close to the point, but like a video of you, like, you're like, what can I do? Nobody wants him, you know,
Mhm.
blah 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 blah. Like TSM co-opt TSM's drama and just like tongue in cheek it back. I
Yeah.
think that would be hilarious.
That would be
No, it
fun.
would be hilarious. I really think that we need more sketch comedy in esports, actually. Like people doing it and doing it well. And if teams can do it, that's really, really cool. If they're able to get players
Well, like
involved and like actually make funny stuff, that'd be amazing.
what I would suggest is like you don't have players do it because players are shit at acting, and instead
Mhm.
you just get like well, you would be a good example, like somebody who no, wait a minute,
All right.
somebody who has time to make content that's branded, right? Like, oh, he's Sam, the Golden Guardian guy. That's 3Gs. Hashtag 3Gs. That's you. You're 3G Sam. Right there.
But be
Done.
careful because 5G is what caused the whole coronavirus.
Yeah, it's only 3/5 Corona.
Yeah,
That's
you
been
don't worry about
happening.
it. He's only 3G. 3G Sam.
That's,
So, like.
that's Golden Glue. Gordon Gracely Golden Glue. Golden Glue.
So, anyway. Yeah, you do that. Like, you introduce yourself, you brand yourself, and then you give somebody, like, the esports update or something. And so it'd be like, shit, it could be like the weekend update. And it's the esports update, and you make fun of everybody else's drama. And you're Sam from Golden Guardians and blah blah blah, and then it doesn't require you, like your players. It's just you have a face for the organization, kind of like Evil Geniuses tried to do with Evil Lady,
Vitamist?
that's in control of the organization that they abandoned
yeah.
immediately.
They didn't abandon her immediately. She's still doing stuff, but
Is she still doing stuff?
yeah, she do. I think she still does stuff, but she's just not like she's definitely not the face, like how you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, I
Well,
love
I mean,
that
like,
idea. I wanted to do that myself. I've been thinking about it, and then I'm like, I can't make this myself.
all people need to do is watch the LEC. The LEC does this better than anybody.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if y'all saw at the beginning of the season when they did like the fake commercials, like their casters and their players did these like they had a cereal called LECs,
Yep.
and like I can't remember who the mid laner was. Like these are so delicious, and it was campy, but it was done really really well. And the really good one was the detergent.
Yeah, the bleach or whatever.
The clean. LEC is like the cleanest league on the planet.
Yep.
Like that. Like I watched the LEC and I'm just like, how is the NA like how is the NA production this bad? Because our casters are great. Like I think our casters are really good, but the production value and stuff that when they try to do stuff, it's so cringe.
Are you
But
talking
the
about
LEC does it so well.
Are you talking about the freestyle rap?
That and when they had to do the KDA thing, it was just bad. It was just bad.
And then they had the dragon guy with the after party thing.
The
and that was-
sushi,
Dragon?
yeah, no,
that
that
was
was terrible.
weird. I did not. I wasn't a fan of that. Maybe,
I
and
just-
then, but that's the thing is like for me though, I'm not your target audience. So I'm like, well, who knows? Maybe like Astros and the kids are really into this, and I don't.
How old is
get it.
Astros?
He's like 20, 21, something like that.
I mean, the league audience is older compared to the other esports or gaming audiences.
I can believe
I
that.
think we are like the ceiling of it, right? Because we
Right.
played since season 1, kind of, for season 3, those kind of people. But no, yeah, and I think the direction that LAC does and LCS does are completely run by two different people. So 2 different people are making those decisions. So or 2 different whatever. So I think LCS decided to go like more sports broadcast, traditional sports broadcast.
But they're bad at it. Like that's the thing. Like if you watch the broadcast of LEC, like the overlays,
Mhm.
all that stuff is just light years ahead.
Yeah,
like,
I think
you
no
watch
one disagrees with that.
Somebody gets a level up, that pops up over their portrait. They actually bring up the secondary runes, so you can, and they talk about the secondary runes. Like, oh,
Mhm.
he's taking sudden impact. Here's why. Like, you know what I mean? Those little things make such a big difference. Item power spikes, all this stuff. They just give us much better information. Like, I just do not understand how across because at some point there's got to be somebody in charge of all of this, and I don't understand how you live in LA and be that shitty at production. And this is not you. Like, don't get me wrong. I know, you know, I mean, I'm just like, in general, I just think LA is like a hotspot for creating content, and yet NA seems to be like one of the worst leagues for it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with it. I'm disappointed.
Well, I mean,
As well.
that being said, like I said, I feel like our on-air talent and everything is very good.
It's
Like,
great.
I don't think there's a better host out there than Dash right now. I mean, frankly.
Mhm.
And, you know, we've got, like, the pros from our scene are really good at, you know, game analysis and stuff like that. So I don't have a single problem with, like, the pieces you've got. It's just you don't have them in the puzzle right.
And whoever's making the decision is
Well, and I wonder how much, like,
Yeah.
coronavirus completely fucks that, too. You know, because I feel like it's hard to produce content when everybody can't collaborate super well. So you have a whole bunch of individual things that may or may not mesh, and you're trying to jam them together, and then you get like Sushi Dragon.
Can we at least get a camera? Like, can I see the face of the person playing the game every now and then instead of a portrait? Haunter, or I'm not gonna say Haunter because we got Sam on the podcast. But like Broken Blade just got double dick down in top lane. There is this portrait, just like I want to see like fuck in Turkish,
Yeah.
whatever that is, or you know what I mean? Like, can we get like something other than these whack ass portraits? Like, it's just
They're
come
working on
on,
it. They're
man.
working on it.
All right, so back to actually
Anyway,
shit Sam
sorry.
can do. You should totally hire comedy writers. You live in LA. You have
Let's try to
those
talk
there.
about this.
No, seriously, you could hire comedy writers.
I
That
know
would
we
be
have.
fucking
We've
brilliant.
hired writers for stuff for projects that either died or got tabled and stuff. But yeah, it's tricky. We've gone through some transitions with like with people and staff. Yeah. But yeah, again, we run really lean. So like even for example, one of the biggest reasons why I got hired was I was creating like meme videos for Golden Guardians, and it was the best performing content that they were like putting out. Like they were getting a ton of engagement, and I look back at them, and some of them are like just absolutely horrible, right? The biggest one, like there are two that like really like stood out and like probably got me actually hired to do like longer freelance and then eventually full time. Were like the shooting star meme recreation with like Hanser missing his Ornalt, and then Death Note thing with Froggen playing Karthus and like wiping the whole map with it, and it was like a Death Note like intro or sequence where it just like replaces space and stuff. Yeah, and it says like Bjergsen or like Dokla or something like that. Like just had names in the notebook and them all dying off. So like people loved it and it was great, and like that stuff works, and that's why Cloud9 is one of the most popular teams in NA, because they're like super memey and they have like really good social and really good team members. But then eventually, like even now, like I was working on one today, and like it's the highest priority on my list to do, and it doesn't get done until like Friday because I have just other things I have to do, and other things that are like maybe more business oriented, I guess. Like it's being more profitable. Like one of the things I'm doing now is like helping expand our players' YouTube channels. So like Peekaboo is like one of the biggest streamers in WoW right now, and he's one of our players. I launched his YouTube channel, and like the first video got like 30K views, and like he has some videos over like 100K views, and like getting our sponsor rotation that's on his stream onto those YouTube videos brings us lots of money, because there's like depending on how big it is and how often it's on the screen, that's advertising dollars.
All right, so what you're saying is we need to work in some Lola adverts to some of these videos.
That's what I was actually going to suggest. We have an opening for official podcast of, you know, any LCS team. And right now it's an open call, you know, so if you want to get in first, you know,
ground floor.
I think Golden Guardians love to talk about Hashishin right now. I think that'd be a great partnership.
You know, I don't care.
Speaking of age demographics,
this is like every 5 seconds, let's be like, yeah, brought to you by Golden Guardians, the best fucking team in the world. You know, let's just do that all the time. In fact, I'm probably going to do that anyway now.
That'd be great. We are the least popular team in the LCS.
Yet you are the best fucking team in the whole damn world.
Wait a minute, y'all are the least popular team?
Yeah.
By what
least
metric,
fans.
though?
Dignitas has more fans than y'all.
Well, Dignitas been around
Yes.
longer, man.
Still,
They have age-old fans that are like, oh, we love their Baron throws.
People follow players too. So once we lost Froggen, for example, that's one of the biggest names because he's been playing for so long, and he was playing when League of Legends was at its like peak of popularity. A lot of fans are Froggen fans rather than whatever team. So he went to Dignitas. So, but I don't know what there's some survey results and stuff and things I probably can't talk about. I don't know. But
see, I was curious about something that you said about like Cloud9 being super popular, and I wondered how much of that was just because of like Sneaky, who had a really great online presence, and then they booted him, and then C9 dodged a bullet by fucking just destroying the league right after he left. Because if they had tanked, I wonder how popular they'd be. I'm curious about that because I thought Sneaky like got it. He got that part of it. Like
yeah, no, you're right. I think they did lose a lot of popularity, and even like I think maybe I might be wrong. I'm speculating. I think C9 like even games have less viewership now that Sneaky's not on them, even though they are the most popular team. Like less people are watching Cloud9 games or even LCS games because Sneaky's not there. Or I feel like if Doublelift's not starting, that means like people aren't gonna be watching those games, whatever team he's on. Like these players are so important when it comes to viewership and fandom to teams. And then our team, Golden Guardians, like we had a rough first season roster, and then we haven't had like popular players. Frogman was like our most popular player. Haunter's a popular player too.
Haunter would be your most popular player.
But this is the thing: he doesn't stream. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. He doesn't stream, so he doesn't necessarily focus on his fandom. So he was on TSM. That brings a lot of clout to any player. And then if a player doesn't keep up with their brand, then
he was the best player on that failed roster from Worlds. He played out of his mind in that Worlds, if memory serves. The rest of the team sucked.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's tricky. So we are definitely the least, I believe, the least popular team. I don't know if that's true right now, but also I believe that there's a lot of people that don't have a favorite team either. So we just need to grab those. So everyone that's watching LOLA,
I tend to follow players like I because of the name, I tend to follow Double a lot. Like, I have to change my clan. I have to change my summoner name every time he gets traded, which costs me blue essence. And I have to be quick about it too, because I know somebody I pissed off like 3 years ago. It's like, that motherfucker, I'm gonna take that name. I'm gonna take it. They've been waiting on them to harbor that resentment. They're gonna snatch it.
That's funny.
But no,
to be fair, you flame a lot of people. Like,
not on that account though. I put on a different mask to get that out of my system.
No, those are the enemies of Turd Bjergsen.
Oh, he's gone. He got banned.
Yeah, that dude got banned.
He got banned finally.
That's funny.
Finally got an account banned. It took long enough, man. I was wondering what it would take. That literally was a quest, a side quest of mine. It's like, I want to see if I can get this account banned. And I did. And honestly, it was like the most rewarding experience I've ever had with Riot because like they give you this pop-up. It's great. It's like, congratulations. You are in the 0.0000002% of the most toxic assholes in this entire game.
So it's like
as such, we are banning your account. I'm like, this is great. I should do this more often. Spent $10, got a new account.
Same VIP service or exclusivity as challenger players. 0.0001%.
Don't be like me, kids. Don't be like me.
Your challenger in toxicity. That's something.
I earned that ban. I went out of my way to earn that ban. I'm not normally that mean.
Well, regardless, we did have a topic before we got into
let's talk about League.
Let's talk about League a little
We've been talking about League. This isn't like usually like Blake's like, oh, let me tell you about this tire iron hooker case I had. Like, you know, I mean, I'm sure that's coming later. But
I thought
how interested is the audience now about LCS or like esports? Or is it just mostly like League people, like people that just want to play League?
Well, I mean, okay, so there was a time where we devolved in structure to the point where we had none, and people hated that. And so we went back to actually talking about League more, like that being a focus and like how to get better, and that's kind of helped a lot. People like that again. So kind of that's been, we're still LOLA, so it's still about like the character of the host and interaction and whatever. But it's
banter.
not like it's banter. It's not like what did you do at Starbucks this week? But it's like, we get along and joke
Still
around
just
about
threw
stuff.
up in his mouth a little bit. I mean, he's gonna hear that you mentioned the word Starbucks.
Oh no, that was a jab at League Cast, but that was for Aiden's benefit. Anyway, no, I'm just making fun. I love those guys. Anyway, so regardless, that was purely for Aiden's benefit. Anyway, yeah, we still got that. Like, that's still a large part of what we do, but then, like, we're still back on the train of, like, hey, this is how you improve, which is, like, really what the heart of the
Cool.
podcast was to begin with.
Mhm.
So,
It's hard to come up with new topics, though. Like, I mean,
well,
there's only so much, improvement
the problem, like, the good
without
news
visual
is,
aids.
well, I mean, the good news is you have, like, 0 net listeners that have listened for 183 episodes. So if you go back 30 episodes, you might as well be going back to like the history books as far as like fan memory goes, right? So you can readdress and retouch the same topics, and
That's fair.
hearing about it from like new people, because it's not like we have the same 3 people talking about anything 30 episodes apart. It keeps it fresh, even if it is like something that we've already touched on. So, for example, we've been telling everybody for the longest time that they need to get coaching if they feel like they're in a rut, if they feel like they can't do anything, if they feel like whatever. They're just not seeing the gains from what they feel like they've put effort in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, as many of you may know from last week that I was on, and I was talking about how my experience in season 10 has been just so bad with solo queue, and it's just been like, oh, it'll turn around. I have not yet hit the bottom. So this last week I smashed hard into rock bottom whenever I demoted all the way down into gold 4. Like, I went,
Oh, I didn't know you made it that far down.
oh yeah, we hit the bottom of the well. Like,
Okay, for the record, I pulled your teeth to get coaching when you were plat 4. Like,
and I resisted because I'm a proud and stupid man.
it's a
And
teaching
so-
moment, people.
So
Listen to your friendly neighborhood double sniff, unless he's in a van. Then you want to slowly back away. But-
don't slowly back away. Run. Like, there's
You don't
no.
wanna- his vision's based on movement, so you gotta kind of.
He's the T-Rex of van sex predators. Anyway, so I had resisted for the longest time because, like, one, like, it's hard for me because it's like I've coached people all the way through plat. Like, I know what to tell you to do to get better. I know what to tell me to do to get better, right? And so it's like, man, I know all of it. I've done this before. I've capped out at like promos to Diamond 2 when Diamond 5 was a thing. So it's like at one point in my career, I was in the top 1/2 of 1%. I'm sorry, top 1/4 of 1%, which would now currently be master tier. Like, that's where I did my best. That was me at my peak. And so I know how to get through platinum. But I'm failing. Miserably failing. Right? Like, over and over and over again. I went back and I looked at my last several games, and it's like 18 game loss streak, 6 game loss streak, 7 game loss streak, and just if there was like a graph that would show like my elo over time, it would kind of float around and then it would just lemming off a cliff. Right? Like, just straight down. And so finally I hit gold 3 and I was like, it's probably time for me to get coaching and just see.
Silver 2. That's the peak.
Yeah,
time.
that's it. I was like, so it's time for me to hit it and see what is the matter, right? And see what somebody who isn't me, maybe I'm just too emotionally vested to be able to be objective in my gameplay, right? Because it's like I said, I know I can look at it. If I wiped my name off the list and I was like, who's this idiot? I could coach that idiot, but I'm that idiot, right? So it's too fresh. I justify my own behavior. I am a human just like everybody else that plays this game that thinks I fall into the same mental traps as everybody else does. And I know that.
Blake, I think it's really brave for you to seek help. It's really brave to admit when you have a problem and going out to
Mm.
seek help. I'm proud of you.
I would feel better about that if I knew it wasn't so tongue in cheek, you bastard. Like I've known you since episode 1.
I don't know why I'm enjoying this so
you
much.
rat bastard. Anyway, so like I said, I finally like was just like, okay, I need third party perspective. And then I also thought, and maybe it would be good if I just like recorded it and posted it on YouTube to take away some of the stigma that's attached with coaching, like seeking third party assistance.
Why
There
the
is,
fuck do people have that stigma? It's stupid.
I don't know, it
It's
exists
the
though.
stupidest shit. Get coached. Like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the best, best basketball. Look at all these professional athletes. Tom Brady has a fucking quarterback coach. Do you think that guy's as good a quarterback as Tom Brady? No. But if you're the best at what you do, you still need somebody to help you make yourself better. Like, because we don't analyze ourselves. We cannot effectively judge ourselves. This is what dating apps are built off of. This fallacy, this inability of us to put self-worth on ourselves. You know what I mean? When you swipe right on that person, everybody knows you can't land that. You're not going to get that. That's a pipe dream. We need people to swipe left on us so we can find that reality. But yeah, the coaching should not have a stigma attached to it. Yeah. Like, and I mean, we're talking about $10. Like, it doesn't cost. This isn't like you paid, out the ass for like $50 for coaching. I understand that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the dude's like what, $17?
Yeah, I paid him 16, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they charged me $1 on his like 14 or $15 as a transaction fee or something. And so that was fine. And like I said, I recorded it because I wanted it to be like there isn't a stigma to this. Just get coaching. I'm going to get coaching. Everybody should. I coach other people and I need to get coaching sometimes because I need somebody else to put eyes on what it is I am doing that's not me and not my eyes and won't self-justify my behavior or won't put it on someone else for not doing something in response to something that I did, right? Because I need somebody who doesn't see how this plays out in my head to tell me that I was either correct in the decision I was making or wrong in the decision I was making and give me a few reasons why, right? And so the big question I got is like, well, was it good? Did you get what you were looking for out of it, right? And contrary to like my agenda of everybody should get coaching, I really didn't get what I was looking for out of it, right? Like I didn't feel like I got a whole like I didn't have that aha epiphany moment of like this is what I need to do to get better, right? What I did get though was a whole bunch of things that I could do that I knew but for some reason had not prioritized as being important enough, right? And it was weird because like, okay, how many times, listeners, have I told you to hold your abilities until the last second and you make somebody dodge you by walking at them and then you shoot your stuff?
Because at least once, because you did it in a game that we were playing together and you're like, you should walk with your abilities for the last second and make them dodge.
Okay, so here's another one. Sam, long time ago, I had a Vel'Koz video at a dragon fight, and you commented, you're like, I can't believe you held your ult that long. Because like I turned this Vel'Koz fight into like this sick triple kill and made a clip of it, right? And your takeaway from that was like, wow, I would have fired that a lot sooner. I can't believe you held it that long. This season, I wasn't doing that. I was just like, oh, I can hit it, and just letting it loose. And I just hadn't put enough emphasis on that in my own play. And it's something that I knew I should be doing. And it's like, why? Why am I not doing that? Because I noticed that my thrush hook percentage went through the toilet. Like I was just guessing where somebody was going to be, and then I was like, well, if I hit him, I hit him, and if I don't, I don't. And it's like, why am I being ineffective? Like, well, that's it. Like, I'm not increasing my own odds. I'm not making them take angles and then increasing my percentages or like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at higher elos, you can walk somebody into a wall by like cutting them off, and then you wind up your hook, and they have to flash or they're going to get hooked. So then the question is, do I shoot where I know I'm going to hit them, or do I shoot where I think they're going to flash to? Like, and that's the question. And either way, you know exactly where those two positions on the screen are going to be because you know how far away their flash is, right? And so it's like, I just wasn't doing it, right? And I had forgotten, like, or just de-emphasized it as even a thing. Maybe I just got cocky and I'm like, hey, I'm just too good. Like
I think the best word to use is you were autopiloting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's very accurate.
You GPS'd it instead of like being active about it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what happens. Like,
you WPS'd it. Shit, got him.
That was pretty good.
That was a good one.
Yeah, you got to go back to your fundamentals, right? That's the thing. Like when you have done something for so long, you built up those good habits, right? And then they, like, oh, sorry, you found your problems, you fixed it by building good habits, and you trained it until like you didn't have to think about it anymore. Then you're adding more onto that and more onto that and more onto that, and then somewhere along the line, maybe you took a break or maybe just like off day, you just kind of start feeling a little more cocky, like, oh, I can hit any hook. Do no worries. You start forgetting those fundamentals.
Maybe you played with the community for 2 years.
that does do it too. Yeah. So then you just forget those fundamentals, and like bringing it back to like even LCS. Like I hear the coaches talk. You hear every coach talk about, oh yeah, we're working back on fundamentals. Oh yeah, we have a new roster, so we have to talk about the fundamentals. Blah 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 blah. Because everyone took like a 3-month break, or they're playing solo queue for 3 months instead of competitive games, and then they like lose like how to set up for a dragon. Or like, oh, we're supposed to be tracking summoner cooldowns. I forgot to do that. And like people are starting to play what I say, like lazy play. And then you just have to like rewind, build those fundamentals back up again, and then climb. Turn that match history green, not red.
Yeah, no shit. So like the other thing that he mentioned, and like I'll just put it out there. Sam.
Yes.
You've known me forever. We've podcasted forever.
Yes.
And what is
the... leave you two alone?
Yeah, that'd be great. Go ahead. So what is the number one weakness that I have always said about my game of League of Legends? Number one. Like top one answer on the board. Sam says, I'll give you a hint. Remember when we talked about playing that video that says the same word every like 6 seconds?
Oh, map.
Yep.
Map.
That has been a constant weakness of mine since season 3. It has been, I don't look at my map enough. I don't take in enough data off my map. I have never taken the time to implement data collection into my gameplay. Like, don't hit tab enough to check to see if people have items. I don't like check my opponent's items. I don't check the map enough. I don't look at what's going on top lane, whether they have TP or not. I'm not taking account of these variables, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's to a point, like, and I said during the coaching session, I was like, man, you're right. A lot of the problem is like I'm not accounting for TP. I'm not, because I'm thinking to myself, these TP plays never happen effectively. And it's like, because people at this elo, they don't TP
and
well.
That's bullshit.
And that is. But it's like I just almost
induct them and make them do that shit.
Oh no! I meant against me.
Oh,
against me, like the threat.
I remember that part of the video.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like the threat of it happening to me is relatively.
He's talking about tempo, and he's like, "Hey, they could TP behind you." It's like I was like, I know what Blake's gonna say. He's gonna say, "This is fucking silver. They're gonna do this shit," and he's right.
Exactly right. And I'm right 90% of the time. You know, and it's just like I have settled into a mindset, and this is also what I told the guy and like called myself out on. Like, I have settled into a mindset where I just accept that as okay. If that extremely unlikely thing happens, I'm gonna die. because it's easier to just accept that that may happen than it is to like constantly monitor the map and take in that information. Right?
That's
Which is
exactly how I feel about ganks. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get ganked. Like, if they're jungle pathing, they should be on the top side of the map anyway. So like, I'm just gonna play aggressive, and then I get ganked. I'm like, well, that's okay because I'm drawing pressure on this side of the map, and I'm a better player than the rest of my teammates, so they're gonna have an advantage or whatever. I lie to myself, and then I just like keep feeding and feeding and feeding and not warding, and I'm like, something's not right with my logic anymore.
right. Like I've got to fix this. At some point,
Yeah.
you have to own it and fix it, right? Or else you're
Mhm.
just eating games that could be winnable.
I
Or
mean,
you're developing
that's
bad
kind of
habits.
one of the principles that I learned from him too. That was really helpful for me was that whole if you don't know where somebody is, if you don't know exactly where they are, then they're everywhere. Like that
Mhm.
changed my ganking as a jungler phenomenally about tempo and like when I can attack and where I can be and anticipating counter ganks is like this is a rule. If I can't see their mid laner or reasonably deduce where they've been, obviously if I know they just backed or they just died, I can do some stuff. But like that kind of stuff is super super valuable of in terms of anticipating where people are. Because if you can't see them, just assume that they're there.
Mhm.
Like until you know that they're not, and that will solve that problem. Blake, your problem with the map. Have you ever tried a metronome?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This YouTube video is what
Yeah.
we were
Okay.
talking about.
Oh, it says map.
Literally, yeah, it says map every like
Ah,
6 seconds, and
I
it'll
just use
just
the
go.
beep, and I my brain can turn that beep into the idea of looking at a map.
Now
Look
you
at the
just hear
fucking
beeps
map.
all the
Look
time.
at the fucking map. Look at the fucking map. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna duo with you and say that the whole time.
Well, no, I used to listen to a video that would on repeat just go map, map.
Your kid.
Maybe you need your kid next to you, and then
Like,
he'll be your
okay,
reminder.
so
right.
for the record, my kid's name is Max, and so it's like map, and he's like, what? Like, oh. So anyway, no, I mean, it would just say that, and then I would be like, oh shit, I need to look at the map. I need to see where people are. I need to take in information, whatever. But like, yeah, I wasn't timing TPs because TP is a threat that I'm not super worried about because nobody has the map awareness to execute the plays. But that's stupid, right? That's me being lazy, not like me being aware, right? Just because your elo doesn't take advantage of it doesn't mean that you should not be accounting for it because you're setting yourself up to have a problem later, if not now.
Well,
And so
the bigger issue I have with that is that if you're ignoring the enemy team's ability to do that, then you're probably overlooking your teammates' ability to do that too. And I think that's really the first step. If you want to get to a point where you're like objectively aware of the other team's summoner spells, particularly teleport or like global ults like Shen ults, TF ults, anything that's gonna like change the outcome of or the numerical advantage of a fight, like you gotta do that on your own team. And that was another thing that helped me out a lot because I got coached by the same guy like months and months ago before I demoted from platinum. He helped me get back up. I'm glad I did it when I did it because you can fall really far if you don't humble yourself and get coaching. Apparently, I had no idea you could get that far, but I've heard rumors that
Old wives' tales.
yeah, there's an ancient old myth about
yeah, I know a guy.
I know a guy.
who's
I
like
heard
the-
about him.
I heard this guy
I
who's
don't believe that. I don't believe it.
yeah,
There's
nobody.
no way somebody
that
can
couldn't
fall
happen
that
to
far
anybody.
that fast.
Well, no,
There's no
Jesus.
way.
Honestly, like I was actually like looking around my house for like an Indian burial ground or like my kid being like, I found this in a graveyard, and I'm like, no, put it back. like like my shit is cursed. Like I was just completely. I've never seen.
There is
Look,
some truth to that.
I mean,
I'll verify this.
I have literally never seen, and this is what I told the coach whenever I got coach is like, I understand that there's a certain amount of shit happens in the game, right? And I have gotten an insane amount of that lately, where like I have suffered from AFK teammates, I've suffered from your inters, your feeders, your trolls, your whatever. Like I've gotten that to a sick level, and what I told him was this. I also know that that is not why I'm here long term. That is why I'm here short term. Like short term, you can lose 5 games, 6 games in a row and have a troll or an AFK every game. That can happen. but that won't happen over the span of like 300 games.
Because you're gonna be in Silver soon.
No, yeah, exactly. And nobody ever trolls in silver. So, it's funny because like
Vicious.
I know everybody. By the way, there was a fucking meme posted in general already, and it was Ice Cream Dreams made a meme, and it says like enemy player tries to 1v9, and it shows the guy from Doom just ripping up a bunch of zombies and skeletons and shit. And then it says when I try to 1v9, and it shows like it's the beginning of a porn video with like 5 huge hung black guys
Wait,
and like
where's
this
this?
skinny blonde chick sitting on a couch just like I'm about to get railed. And right after that Astros posts like yikes. And he goes, if anything, you should name it, have the bottom one say when Blake tries to 1v9. And I'm like, oh god, like come on, man.
Brutal.
I have a family. But yeah, no, it's true though. He's like, you might get on the podcast if you make that meme. And I was like, we're recording right now. I'm going to talk about it. It's fine. So
He is cursed. It gets to the point where I have a hard day, rough day. I'm feeling down. Maybe I had a shitty day of league. I pop on. I see Wise Papa Smurf in game. I'm like, spectate this shit. Feel a little bit better. Feel a little bit. No, I'm gonna know that no matter how bad my life is doing, I haven't experienced this yet. Although, and this is another point, since we're just absolutely piling on you.
Go for it. You might
Yeah,
as well.
like
I just found out that my account has the equivalent of ELO AIDS that made me less resistant to ELO
he died of
leprosy.
AIDS.
Well, no, I mean, I essentially got leprosy afterwards because my immune system was shit. So
there you go.
pile it
on
on.
prep.
Bring it.
Like there was that one game that I watched, and as soon as I saw the loading screen, I was like, "What the fuck, Blake?" Because you had a Kane mid, and what was it, a Yi top, and like a Syndra jungle or some shit, like. And this is something that Astros talked about a little bit.
I should dodge that.
That stuck with me, and he's like, if you're not dodging and you're not researching and using your dodges as a tool, you're not climbing. And like I saw for whatever reason, that thing that he said, I saw that, and my brain was like, that's true.
Okay.
And I've gotten into the habit of doing that.
What
when
happened?
you see a guy on an 8-game int streak, just throw away the 3 LP. Just throw it away. Just kiss it goodbye.
So what
save
happened
the
there?
18.
Yeah, what happened there is that
you misclicked?
I loaded into that
you
game.
minimized it instead of closing?
The first 3 picks were normal, right? And I thought, this will be fine. First 3 picks are normal. And then Max is like, Dad, what can I blah, 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 Minecraft? Can you look at this real quick? And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. And I look over here and I'm talking with him. I'm like, oh, now you really need to, like, there's some iron ore over there. You can use that to make a pickaxe. Probably be a good idea. Get that diamond, blah, blah, blah. And then I turn back to the loading screen and it's like, Kane and what?
Yumi jungle.
And Blake found irons in his game.
I'm like, oh, shit. I hope this works. I hope this guy's one of those guys that just kicks ass at whatever. So, like, yeah, literally that one. You can actually see it on stream. The VOD's up. Like, I'm playing that game, and then Max says something, I turn this way. I'm talking to him, and I'm completely not paying attention to that they locked in. Because the guy was hovering something else, too. And then he changed it to Kane mid. And I would not have been down with that. Like, if you would have... that champ sucks mid. Why would you... And you
went into a terrible matchup, too.
Yeah.
And he went, Conqueror.
He went Conqueror with, like, blue Kane.
Into, he went Conqueror into, like, 3 ranged champs. So the only chance he would have had to become Red Kane was to go down bot and hit, like, your melee support. Like, over and over. So he's already adding, like, 4 minutes onto his transformation.
I mean, it was just all around. It wasn't a good deal, right? Yeah. But I mean, who knows? Like maybe the guy's like, shit. I used to play like a lease support, and I was actually pretty good at it. And so, like, if you dodged because I picked a lease support, that was a dumb dodge, because I knew how to do it. So, like, some people pull out weird, tricky, unmeta shit, and it actually works. But this wasn't that.
Well, if they're on your team, you can copy and paste their name into a program and find out if they're any good at it.
Well, I mean, and I'm running Blitz, so it's telling me kind of what their record is overall, and like But I mean, then again, if you look at records overall, mine is awful. Like I have a 40-something% win rate, and if I were your support, you'd be like, "Oh, this fucking guy!" Like, yeesh.
Yeah, I would dodge you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to duo with you later tonight and dodge it just on pure principle.
You should announce to the whole team first. You see this guy's win rate? It's ass.
It's fucking terrible.
I'm out.
You guys have the same clan tag. What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Not for long, dumbass bitches. Anyway.
I'm going to pick Lulu Jungle and try to get somebody else to dodge it. That's the new goal.
Yeah.
You can get reported now on Champ Select. Shit,
yeah, can't do that anymore. Actually, they said they're just yeah, they said that they're just collecting data right now, so you might be okay.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't try it on this account.
Wouldn't try it on any account. It's a dick move. But anyway, so there was that he mentioned, and I was like, you know what, you're right. I do need to take in more information from the map, and I have forever. Like, and I told him, I was like, look, that is an ongoing problem that, like, I skill ceilinged without fixing that problem, even though I was aware of it, right? And it was always my intention to like get back to the point at which I am at my peak, and then that is my next thing that I was going to improve whenever I got there. But that's a dumb mentality. Like I have a problem that I could revolutionize my game with, and instead I'm like, I want to get to the highest point that I crest at before I fix it. Like, even when I told him that, it didn't make a lot of sense to me, right? So the other and last thing that he kind of like really focused on was communication. And I think this is relatively universal, right? Like, and his point was basically this, and in a sentence, he kind of unwound the whole thing. He's like, if you didn't ping it, you can't complain about it. And like not just ping it, effectively ping it, right? Like he uses pings like they're a language. And I'm like, okay, I get it. So like if I want to do level, like when I start the game, one thing I've noticed that has been a constant, you fucked up if you didn't thing, right? Is that support needs to ward the tri-bush, and ADC needs, or mid or whomever needs to ward the backside of red or the pixel bush, one of the two. That will make you gank proof, and it will make sure that when you leave the leash of red and you go back to lane, you don't get ambushed in tri-bush, right? Like, it's too valuable not to do it. Like, somebody has to do it. And so now, whenever I'm on Fountain, I ping my ward, and then I ping that bush, and then I ping the other bush, indicating to my team, like, somebody's got to ward these two spots. And then I go to the tri-bush because nobody ever wards that one, right? That's been a good example of, like, using your pings as language, right? Or, like, I want to go for level 2. I'll ping the minion, I'll ping my percentage of my EXP bar, and then I'll ping assist like near the champion, or like let's moving to, and then the champion, right? Like, so that just tells them this is what I'm shooting for, and then I start auto attacking the shit out of the minions.
See, and I think you would do better just to say that in a minute and a half. Just be like, I'm gonna go for level 2. We're gonna get level 2 first, and we're gonna fuck them up when we do. Like, I think that is the type of scenario where you don't have to use pings because you're not in the heat of the moment. Like, you've got this relatively safe period for you to like lay out your game plan with real words.
See, the problem that I have with laying out your game plan with real words ahead of time is that people go, yeah, okay, and then they don't know how to implement what you're talking about, right? Like, they're like, yeah, okay, I'm still gonna auto attack at the last possible second on my level 2 minion wave, because they're not prepped for what the hell it is you're doing. And if I don't prep, like, click these minions, let's go, then they're like...
You can do both. They're not mutually exclusive.
I auto-attack the minions. I start hitting them.
Yeah.
Before they...
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just like, dude, we're going. You need to move up. Like, let's go. You know?
Yeah.
And so he made a good point. That's like, man, if you're not communicating that shit... Like, there was at one point where I was like, yeah, I pinged the dragon. And he's like... Okay, I've not seen it on the list. How long ago did you ping it? I was like, oh, might have been a while back. Not sure, but I definitely pinged off mid and pinged we're going to dragon. And then the guy didn't leave, so I kind of went back mid to not leave him alone. And he's like, No, you leave him alone at that point. If he's gonna disregard, like you are sending mixed messages because you're like, I want to go here, but the fact that I'm near you means that I'm not like I'm supporting you in your decision to stay here, right? And
You're baiting. It's like
yeah,
diet baiting.
yeah,
You
it's
know
like
what I mean?
diet baiting. It's like, well, I never really looked at it like that. Like clear and concise communication via ping. Okay. And I mean, it's weird because we all speak the same fucking language, right?
He gave me the same advice, like, about pinging my summoner spells, and I've talked to other guys about this because that seriously upped my gank percentage success. Like, if I'm running to a gank, I'm gonna let you know I've got a flash. I'm gonna let you know I got an ult, and then they know I'm gonna fucking use it. And people follow me up a lot better. They don't just expect it; just doesn't just come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna ping your flash if you're Thresh. Be like, look, flash into this, flay him. Then we chain CC his ass. It's dead. Done deal. I'll have another flash in 5 minutes. You'll have another one in 5 minutes. We're gonna take this goal. We're gonna go home now. Like that was a big deal. In my development was really communicating with pings, communicating. I like to warn my team if they've got TPs. I like to warn my team if they've got other stuff. I've been a lot better about once you have a successful gank, bringing that mid laner with you and going top, bringing that person with you to finish off plays. Like you have to direct. That's something that he sort of pounded into me was like, it's your job to elevate the state of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't rely on gold players. I have to make it's not. People say, oh, well, if you're with gold players, you just have to play better than a gold player and you'll climb. And I think nowadays, because it's such a team-oriented game, you not only have to play at a higher level, you have to make your team play at a higher level. Like,
well, I mean, fuck. So
take that responsibility.
So let's talk about that right there. If you look at my last 4 losses on my ranked account, 3 of those I am the ace, which is the number 1 player on the losing team. Does that change the fact that I lost those games? No. Being the best player on the losing team is not enough. Like, you have to elevate your team. That's true. And I wasn't effectively doing that. So I lost. Like, Sam, are you still like support main mostly? Is that what you're doing,
Yep,
or what do you?
I only have time to play support. I tried playing top lane, and I was like, I'm gonna learn top lane. I dropped. I knew I was gonna drop. I dropped hard, and then I'm like, okay, I don't have time, so I just played brand support, and now I'm like on a. I think I'm 4-16, or 16-4. It's nice winning.
Yeah, I
again.
was doing pretty well.
One
with
of you
brand
is
support.
16-4, and one of you is 4-16.
Yeah.
With
Woo
brand support.
Yeah, like,
Fun for those at home players.
so like, as it turns out, do you ever see the M. Night Shyamalan movie, like about Mr. Invincible, and like he survives a train wreck, and then there's
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, and then there's Mr. Glass. This is
I will
the
not lose Elo for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
care about
this
your
is the
color.
dichotomy. I'm like Mr. Glass here. Like, I can't win. And Sam's like, I just played Brand. I can't lose. Woo! And
I
I'm
fed
like,
real hard on my last game and I won. We somehow won. But actually, to that point, it was straight up because of teamwork. Because I'm like, we need to do this. I know I'm feeding, but get this dragon right now. And like, I just like made my team do the right things. And like luckily the right carriers like listened and we are able to come back. Like just purely because we just outplayed them. Because like I was pinging a ton. I'd like to think.
yeah. So, I mean, these were a lot of the things. And by the way, if you guys are interested in watching that coaching video, it is up on the YouTube channel under the coaching tab. Like, Wise Papa Smurf coaching, I get coached, right? And so, if you have some comments or anything else, encouragement, dicks, I would love for that. Anything like that would be great.
Blake, I believe in you. I think you can do it. I believe you can get all the way back up to gold too.
New ceilings, But no, actually, I pushed it. I put it in the coaching request channel, right? And I will do a shout out to DZ2Easy, who said, After hearing you on the latest episode, I just want to say you got some real humility to follow through with this. You, sir, are truly humble and actually make me want to play through this season.
Aw.
So, yeah, that's right. I'm the most humble of all of you bitches. I'm the king of being
No, you're the
humble.
most humbled. There's a
Oh,
difference.
oh, right. There it is. That was it. So, yeah. And then Jinso's commented that I have an ego smaller than his wiener, to which the community jumped on that nothing could be that small. So we have a very supportive community, as long as you're not talking about my elo or Jinso's wiener. You know, either or. It's all good.
I want to revisit something that you said earlier about how like you
Yeah.
didn't get what you wanted. Like, you know, you didn't get that aha
Oh,
moment.
right. What I wanted is
Well,
a silver bullet, right?
It
But
doesn't
that's
exist.
not
Yeah.
that's not what this is. Like, and I wanted like validation. Like, you don't have to change anything. You could just keep playing and you'll get out of this shit. Didn't get that either, right? I mean, that was what I had like secretly in the back of my mind. I just wanted somebody to be like, "Nah, man, you're good. Keep on
Your
keeping
teammates
on."
all suck.
Well, not that because that's cliche. And you know what I mean? Like I know, like of course they suck. I'm at a level where everybody fucking sucks. I think people suck like in Diamond, right? Like I have had issues with ADCs that I'm like, how the fuck did you get here, right? In Diamond. And so like I don't have high expectations, right? And that's not like I wasn't expecting him to be like, well, you're a great player. Keep on keeping on. But like in the back of your mind, like your ego wants to hear that, or like, oh, well, I see what you were doing here, and this is why you were doing that, and yeah, okay, I get it. And if this guy would have done these things, okay, cool, yeah, that could have worked. I didn't get that, and that's like there was a couple of plays where like one I was zoning off Dragon. And I was like, what? He's like, why are you standing there? And I go, well, I could have done this, and I'm trying to zone out there, dude. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, this is a fine play. Even if I die, I'm keeping their jungler out away from this dragon, right? And like, I was ready to die for that. I was ready to bounce my ult between him and Sona, throw down a stun, probably die, but their Lee Sin wasn't going to come in on me. Except he did, and I died anyway, and it was a really stupid, like, it was an unnecessarily stupid last stand moment, right? Like, I didn't need to take that, and he was 100% right. But I had in my mind, like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm cool with that. If I die, I die. It's fine. But, like, it's not fine, and that's not how I should be thinking.
Coaching is a process. It's not a moment. Like,
right.
You will have moments as you climb and you apply different tactics where things click. And like Sam was saying, they become innate, and then you don't have to think about them anymore. Well, you don't have to think about them for a few years until you forget that you need to re-implement them, and then you focus on the next thing. But like these aha moments, I mean, like with martial arts, I see that all the time. You're like, oh, I got to learn this one combo and I can start winning. It's like, no. Like you need to constantly be breaking yourself down and adapting and getting better at all these little things, and then you'll see the results that you want.
Yeah, and it's like the first time that I climbed, and I've told people this forever, like climbing is not just like I have fucking mastered a skill. It's like no, it's you're doing 100 little things well. And things that you are more likely to write off because you're like, on the grand scheme of things, that's 1 point in the archetype of climbing, right? But if I do 100 1 point things, I'm 100 points better. But people want to look for the one thing they can do to make them 100 points better.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works.
Well, I mean, and the weird thing is sometimes it does kind of work like that to a certain extent. Like there was this, I was coaching a guy in our community, Mr. Abstruse, and we watched one of his games, and I was like, dude, you don't kite any of your jungle camps. And, it seems like a little tiny thing, these little seconds. And then we watched one of my games, and I kite my jungle camps. And because of that, I get to the top lane like 2 seconds earlier than I would have otherwise did. And in that 2 seconds, I completely got a double kill and changed the entire game. And it's like those little things, you don't know when they're going to impact your game. Like, but you can, sometimes you apply just one little principle and you kill Olaf in his own jungle, and he fucking rage quits. That happened to me 2 days ago. That was fucking awesome. I was like, hell yeah, some freelo, babe. Be gone, Viking. You know what I mean? He fucked up and didn't think I knew how much health he had or where he was going. When he got there, he got a little wolf surprise, and then he got a little wolf rage and AFK, and we won the whole game off of that one play. I mean, not the whole. I think if you rage quit your opponent, you won the game in the first 5 minutes. Like, that is your game.
Yeah.
You get it.
I did that to a Trundle. It was one of my 1 in 6 days. That was the one. I lost 6 games after that, but I won the one, and that was that one. So I mean, that's fine. And that's cool, man. Like, if you can like show your opponent out the door and get him to check into the golden shower, you win. You know, send them to the
Hashtag
showers.
it.
Hashtag golden shower.
Hit the golden showers. Send them to the showers, baby.
You had said something earlier, and I had to go through my mind, but I couldn't get it out quick enough. But it was like golden showers, hashtag something. I had a good hashtag.
Stay hard.
Yeah, hashtag stay hard on the golden showers. Perfect. It writes itself. Right? Oh,
I had a quick question.
Hashtag
like,
drip, drip, drip.
Are the fucking Golden State Warriors still involved with your organization?
Yep.
Like, okay. Because, I mean, I remember there was Clutch that was with the Rockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, 100 Thieves was with the Cavs. And, I know that Clutch kind of just fizzled completely. So I wasn't sure if, like, the NBA, if that was, like, considered a failed experiment or not. Like, I could see that working in Oakland. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
More so than, like, Houston.
Yeah, I think Houston has a ton of esports stuff, actually. Like, Texas is another, like, kind of growing hub for esports. But, yeah, I think the NBA realized, like, oh shoot, this is not easy money, because esports is really, really tricky to figure out how to make profitable. But yeah,
what
the
I meant
Warriors
was
are
more
committed.
like, I think people in Oakland are more likely to be basketball fans and also watch esports fans. I don't see Houston as Houston Rockets fans trickling into league. I think that Oakland and San Fran is like a tech hub, and like you know, it's a different kind of atmosphere and vibe. Same thing with like Portland. You know what I mean? If the Trailblazers brought a team, I could see that working more so than Cleveland. You know what I mean? Or St. Louis.
Yeah, there is a
That's fair.
NBA 2K league. They have there's 28, 31 some teams that all have NBA 2K teams, but that's a lot more transferable when it comes to like NBA and then NBA 2K.
Plus, I think the NBA 2K stuff and like the Madden stuff, those are from my vantage point are their own just very contained esports worlds. Like, and they've done a good job of that. You know what I mean? What I love is how gangsta it is. Have you ever watched the Madden shit on ESPN? Like, these motherfuckers are like hooded up, dressed in like 50 cents. They got chains and shit. They're like, yeah, fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you. Yeah, sit down. Like, they are just like, they've got you can see the gun on them. Like, they just have this like total disconnect from like Hanser's like, well, no, not Hans. I mean, I don't know, some nerdy guy. Hanser's not too nerdy. He's pretty swole. But I'm trying to.
You're really going to Hanser today.
Well, it's the golden guy. It's the only member of Golden
poor
Guardians I
golden
know.
bastard.
Yeah, that's our problem.
It's the only one. I don't know, like, you know, like Jensen. Like, I would, you know, Jensen showing up with a platinum grill, trying to be like, hey, girls, you know.
I pay to see that.
I would pay to see
girls.
that too.
That should be a piece of content right
That
there.
would be good. If you had one of your league players show up to play one of the Madden people and just like totally try to out thug him, like, just he shows up with 2 big tittied hoes, and like the hoe like pulls the controller out
out of like a fur. He just has a fur coat on, and she like pulls a Xbox controller out of the fur coat.
Roll out of money. He's like,
yeah,
thank you, darling. Girl,
and that controller's like bedazzled as fuck.
Oh yeah,
just covered in ice.
Gold plated. Gold, all gold. Gold
nice.
Guardian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's the tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
So, regardless, like, yeah, I think that. I mean, I think there's definite room there. Like, if you guys hopped in comedy and that was your thing, like you made hilarious videos, dude, Golden Guardians could like snatch it out of the air. That space is totally not full at all.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yep.
So, or if you send me a hat, I would wear it every
Dude,
podcast.
did you see Riot drop this fucking Spirit Blossom Thresh bomber jacket?
No.
You need to check that shit out, Blake. It is fucking badass.
Is it badass?
I think it's badass. I mean, and you pay money for it, so it's not like you get it for reaching a certain elo, so you could actually get it.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, that's fair. All right. Hey, do you guys remember whenever I said you had to be like at least plat to be
platinum?
On the podcast?
I do.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
It encouraged me to grind. It encouraged me to like become a better player.
That's funny. Whoa, this is weird.
Yeah, because I'm not there right now, so.
God, we can't let Danger Penguin be like the highest ranking member of this podcast.
No, that's unfortunate. We can't.
It is.
Okay, I hate that jacket, by the way.
Okay,
I looked it up.
Pretty sweet.
It looks like a weird kimono on like an Air Force.
That's fair. I was looking at the back.
Look at the front.
Yeah, the front is kind of weird.
It's super weird. Like, why is it? I get that it's like, okay, it's Spirit Blossom.
I did not see the front. The front looks like a karate outfit.
Yeah, it looks like a karate gi if I'm cold and in the Air Force.
From the back, it looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, it does look cool from the back. They should just like, do you see like the spirit, the actual skin? Like, you see the actual skin?
Mm-hmm.
Make fucking that for sale. Like, essentially a robe that looks like fucking that. That is cool as shit. Like, I'm talking about, let's see. This is the one okay, if you type in Spirit Blossom Thresh jacket, and you go to images, and it's the first, like, art thing after the jacket, make fucking that. I'll buy that. I'll walk around my house in that. I won't walk out of my house in that.
Holy shit, he's ripped. I did not know Thresh was like... Thresh is like got less than 8% body fat. That's impressive.
Well, okay, so he has less than 8% body fat.
He's got cum gutters. You can see the cum gutters.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying in his other skins, he's got less than 8% body fat because he's a fucking skeleton.
He's a skeleton. Yeah, I know. I didn't be this.
In this, he's like fucking torn.
I don't know if he has pierced nips though. The jacket covers them.
Yeah, you can't.
I bet he does. I bet he did.
Why wouldn't he?
He went to Lollapalooza and got that shit done.
Why at Lollapalooza?
93. Anyway, I mean, it seemed like a good part of the lore.
It was the time.
What other tour are you going to get your nips pierced at?
All right, guys. So
Lilith Fair.
So it makes sense that I bring Sam back for an episode and we go an hour and 22 minutes because that used to drive him crazy back in the day. But I'm going to go ahead and call it right here. This was a great time, Sam. You're welcome back anytime.
Sure.
Just let me know when you're free. We'll bring you back.
Yeah, totally. This was fun. If for some reason people are actually interested in what I'm like talking about, like with the esports stuff, if they have questions, I would like happily answer them on the show or something like that.
Throw out your YouTube. I know you're trying to grow it.
Yes, I am. Yeah, so I've been pretty much. What is my YouTube?
Oh God.
I just go to it. I just go to my homepage.
First tip in growing your YouTube is to know what your fucking URL is. Like
my
off the bat.
URL is Samhan Esports. I just recently changed it. I'll probably change my channel name and stuff. But there's also another Samhan. So like my channel name is Samhan.
Oh, we need to take him out.
Yeah, that guy's got to go.
We got to kill him.
He's dead. Dead man.
He's in Sola, Norway, apparently. But anyway.
It's beautiful there this time.
The easiest way to get to it is go to my Twitter.
Beautiful place to commit a murder.
Yeah, great time.
Yeah, easiest place is go to my Twitter if you're following me. Just casual. No 9, by the way. I got rid of the 9.
Right on.
I had the connects at Twitter to actually remove the 9 and give me the just casual, which is really
Did
cool.
you really?
Yeah.
How'd you do that? You just like write into support and be like,
no, my social media manager, our social media manager knows someone at Twitter, so she just gets it done. As long as it's obviously not like, hey, I want to get Steph Curry, Yeah. Like that's not gonna happen.
That would grow your channel. If you, I saw him playing Warzone with Stone Mountain 64, and that was a good time.
Nice. Yeah, but basically, it's not gonna be. My channel's not for everyone. Pretty much, I've rebranded my channel to be like, to help people get into esports or to have conversations about like people that are in esports to help improve the esports scene. So like right now, I've been doing a lot of like resume reviews on Twitch. where people are sending in their resumes and I go over them, tell them how to fix it, and then like doing some random topical
But
stuff
like resumes for esports or just in general?
for esports.
Yeah, I want to work at Shake Shack. They're gonna have Sam review your fucking resume, Blake. Come on, get in the game.
You're gonna write your resume on a fry packet and then you send it in.
There you go.
I want to work
That's
for
creative.
Chick-fil-A. Sam's like, talk about God, talk about how you hate gays. They'll hire you on the spot. Next viewer, next subscriber.
Well, yeah, so it's definitely not a topic for everyone, but if you guys are interested in that, like that's something that I've been like really trying to push and like help people figure out how to get into esports or like help grow people's esports careers that are already in it. So I know that's not for everyone, but if you are interested, go check that out.
Yeah,
Sam on
yeah,
esports.
Sam
Don't
on
forget to do
esports.
the Patreon shout out stuff.
I don't have
Always
Patreon.
No, I meant Blake.
No, for
we
me.
Gotta,
So, yeah.
do that.
Oh yeah,
Keep
because
it-
we need to boost it. Hurry up, give some more money. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I need money for more coaching. I'm floundering here. No, so no, not to be confused with Norwegian Sam Han. That guy's a fucking hack. All right, let me log in. Oh, we're doing a thing now where we shout out to a random Patreon person every episode and say, "Hey, thank you for your support." And that's what we're doing right now.
Man, you haven't had paint art in a while.
Yeah, do you think I should do that again? I mean, it takes forever.
Let's let the
And that's the
podcast
problem.
community, if they ask for it in the feed, if you give us feedback or an iTunes review and you put it in there that you want the painting, maybe we'll bring the painting back. But not until then.
You know what I was thinking actually is that what I may do is like as part of the shout out thing, I would do like a random just do a painting as like a once a month giveaway to one of the people on the list.
That'd be good.
And so that way I'm still doing it, it's still fun, and like I spent some time on those. I don't know if anybody has gone through like all the old posts on the Patreon, but like
If you have,
I drew
you need to
some
take a
shit.
hard look at your life and figure out what went wrong. Like if you scrolled through thousands of messages
I mean,
to look at the
no, there's only like 8
pictures.
posts on there. Like they're easy to find and it's right up front. It's just they're like a year or two old. So
They used to be tagged, so you might be able to
they're
search
still
them.
tagged.
Ah,
Yeah, they're
okay.
still tagged. But I mean,
I ran
yeah.
a clean ship.
yeah, he did. He really did.
That
That
ship sunk.
That ship is at the bottom of the ocean right now.
You guys should find someone to like manage these things. I wonder if they
Yeah, Blake.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's what I'm saying.
He lost his elo, and now you're trying to take away his podcast cred. He's lost enough, Sam.
I'm sure someone would be willing to help, like, figure out like, oh, what's the best way to optimize our Patreon page or whatever, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Let's make Wormlax do
Maybe
it.
not.
He's good at that shit.
Wormlax would be great. We should use Wormlax. That's a good thought. All right, Dr. Nolly, thank you for supporting the podcast. This episode goes out to you, friend. Yeah, this is your PBS moment, brought to you by listeners like that guy. So be like that guy and support the podcast, even if it's like $1. You just listened to us for an hour and 28 minutes, and I am guilting you into giving us at least $1.
After
That
this
would be
episode, I think we need to pay.
We need to
dollars
pay them.
everyone.
Yeah. We're gonna do like a COVID
Reverse
tax
Patreon.
refund, like reverse Patreon. Here's $1 to every listener. Please don't stop.
So what kind of doctor? Do we know what kind of doctor this person is?
Dr. Nolly. Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, he has a picture of like a gerbil as his
Are vets
Patreon
doctors?
icon.
Are they doctors?
They are.
They are.
They
okay.
are technically doctors. Yes. They're just they don't
Gerbil
work.
doctors.
They don't
Got
work
it.
on people.
Yeah.
You don't.
No, I mean
wanna-
it's hard to do surgery on a gerbil. Those scalpels are really tiny.
Yes,
know.
they are.
Like, have you ever
And the
tried to
gerbil
revive a
is
gerbil
awesome.
with a little like, what is those things called? Clear.
Yeah, defibrillator. And
Yeah, the defibrillator. Like those are
And,
tiny. Those
I love
require
it
a
how
lot of
you-
finite control.
I love you just asked me the question if I've ever tried to resuscitate a gerbil with a tiny defibrillator, as if you have done this. Like, no, nobody's done that.
Is this not what gerbil doctors do? Work with small scalpels and tiny defibrillators? No.
Yeah, no.
Not out of touch.
We'll have to talk to them about.
I didn't know there was like a gerbil like organ donating thing. Like I just feel like they just Cured. Let's move on to the next gerbil.
Move out of the way.
It's done.
I have a gerbil heart on ice.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I get to the
And a little
hospital.
cooler. A little beer cooler.
Hey, like a Lego.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to end it right here. Thank you for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. Shout out to you, Dr. Nolly. You're the best. And good night, everybody.
Bye.
All right. And the recording is done.
Good times.
Yeah, that was a
Nice.
good one. Good episode.
That was
All
fun.
right.
I haven't done this in forever.
Yeah, man. Come on back whenever. You're always welcome, dog. Oh, by the way, just for the record, so you know, I stopped the recording, but I keep going on Twitch for a while and just let the stream and like do some after the episode shit for people who, want to peek behind the curtain.
Who's
And
on
what-
Twitch? Say
Well, then
hello.
We take off all our clothes.
This is Lola After Dark.
This is Lola After Dark, yeah. Ah, man, Double, we haven't done like a Lola After Dark in like forever.
I know. It's been 5 weeks. I figured that's why you didn't put me back on the cast.
No,
Didn't
it's
like the last one.
no, like it used to be that we would all just drink and play League late into the evening, and then we would stream it and call that Lola After Dark. And it got,
How's the? Are you guys still playing Valorant?
There's
I've
a
been playing
giant
it,
fucking
yeah.
cockroach on my wall. I gotta go deal. I gotta deal with this.
ew. Yeah,
Yeah.
take care of that shit. That ain't good. But yeah, no, I've been playing Valorant. You play?
I played a lot during the beta, and then once it went live, I haven't played since it went live, or since it got like pulled off when they were doing
Yeah.
like the 3 days maintenance or whatever. and I
Yeah,
haven't played
before
since.
they went like real.
Yeah.
I've played it since. I've been playing it. It's fun, man.
Yeah, I really liked the game. It was like so new to me because I'm so bad at FPS.
Well, I mean, did you ever play like Counter Strike or any of that?
No, I remember my first memory of Counter Strike. I was visiting Irvine, California. My cousin. We went to like a PC room, and then we played Counter Strike, and I didn't know what was going on, and someone ran circles around me and knifed me, and I rage quit.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah.
That would totally do it. All right. Well, I guess we will go ahead and wrap this out because I think the audio is uploaded, and we'll call it.
I'm almost killed. I caught it. I'm killing it.
You caught it.
No, you just kill cockroaches. You don't catch them.
Yeah,
you just kill them.
You don't need to like give it a last. Jesus, what are you doing to kill
How
it?
big is a cockroach? It's like,
It sounds like there's like a brawl going on.
he found the tick on his wall. Beat that thing to death.
I got it. It's dead.
Was it the size of like a Doberman?
No, I had to trap it in a trash can, and then I used this paint container to. I normally would just grab it with some toilet. I get some toilet paper in my hand,
Yeah.
and grab it, and then throw it, flush
Into
it down
the
the drain.
toilet,
But my
yeah.
bathroom's getting remodeled, so
Yeah, you wouldn't want that.
I don't have a toilet. Like,
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
I mean, I have one in my house, just not.
Yeah,
upstairs.
just not handy.
Yeah,
And you don't
we
really
built
wanna
an outhouse. We're going off the grid. Isn't that how that works? We
We
still
got
pay a power bill. We just
gotta-
don't. We just shit outside now.
solar panels and we shit outside. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
We
All right,
weren't
guys.
quite
we're-
ready for the full tiny house experience. We just started shitting in a hole.
Thank you, viewers, for coming and watching. I appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and cut it.
Aw.
Good night, guys.